Sports Radio, FS1. Peter King on today. Greg Cosell just had Matt Barnes. Show has been absolutely rolling today. This weekend, 14 of the 16 NFL games have playoff implications. TJ Hushmanzada. I love the Falcons to get to the Super Bowl. They've been a disaster. He loved the Bengals. They've been a disaster, so he'll have fun today. Also, best for last, why Lamar Jackson has more in common with Tim Tebow than you may think. But we had huge news that has come down, breaking news in the last couple of hours. Josh Gordon, Patriot wide receiver, is stepping away from the team. He put out a statement earlier today. I take my mental health seriously at this point to ensure I remain able to perform at the highest level. I have recently felt that I could have a better grasp on things mentally. With that said, I will be stepping away from the football field for a bit to focus on my mental health. This ends New England's Super Bowl threat. It's over. It is officially over. If you don't watch the Patriots and you have your own favorite team, I've got to watch all these games. He is their number one receiver. Edelman's a slot guy. You got to throw the ball over the top in 2018. He's their go-to big play receiver. He leads this team in yards. Since week 5, he had the second most offensive snaps at wide receiver to Edelman. And again, Edelman is not scaring anybody in this league. This is just not losing a player. This is losing their dynamic, hyper-athletic, super dangerous, over-the-top wide receiver. And by the way, you could sense it was coming. Tom Brady only throws to people he trusts. In 2010 against Miami on a Monday Night Football game, he only targeted Randy Moss one time. I worked at ESPN. I said at the time, it's over. People said, you're overreacting. I said, no. Randy Moss is too good on the road at Miami, Monday Night Football game, Tom Brady, to target once. It's over. A week later, he was out. And in this Sunday against Pittsburgh, Josh Gordon was targeted twice. Once New England got past midfield on 7 plays, they never targeted him. Something was amiss. Brady does not target or throw to people he doesn't trust. He trusted Josh Gordon for 2.5 months. Something was wrong. And today we find out. Listen, it's over for New England this year. I don't know what happens in the draft and free agency, but for this year, they're out of the Super Bowl bubble. Kansas City forces you, because of their deep threats, to play honest. T.Y. Hilton, Indy, forces you to play honest, deep threats. Chargers, Steelers, Texans, the AFC, everybody forces you to be honest. New England this morning, what are you going to do? Philip Dorsett? What do you do? To me, the Super Bowl bubble right now in the NFL, it shrinks. Like college football, you start with 130 teams, you get down to about 5. The Super Bowl bubble to me in the NFL today is Chargers, Chiefs, Bears, Steelers, Saints, and New England is on the out. You don't have to play them honest. You can crowd the box, therefore taking away their primary strength, their running game. They're not going to beat you quickly. They won't be as good playing from behind now because they can't catch up quickly. They're a running, throw to a slot receiver team. And boy, do they miss. They had Brandon Cooks. Let him go. But in college football, it takes us about 13 or 14 weeks. And you can figure out pretty soon. Couple SEC teams, Oklahoma, Clemson, they're in the bubble. NFL, it takes you longer. You got to see weaknesses. Who's in, who's out, who's injured, who's not. New England's not a championship football team. They're just not. And I want to segue to this. And again, I have great sympathy for Josh Gordon, the human being. But New England's season is now going to end with an L, a loss. It's not going to end with a win. And what's going to happen is that everybody in the media is going to say, Brady! Brady is getting old. This is on Tom. I mean, Tom can't elevate people. In the last decade, you see all the Chiefs' talent they give their quarterback? The Colts, the Chargers, the Steelers, Dak, Wentz. Look at all these quarterbacks in the league and the weapons they have. In the last decade, New England has drafted one legitimate receiver, 10 years, Julian Edelman, and he was a quarterback out of Kent State. This is on Belichick. Tom has nothing to work with here. Go back to their last 5 drafts. 2014, one guy left, James White. 2015, one offensive guy left, a guard. 2016, one guy left offensively, a guard. 2017, nobody left. 2018, we got a pretty good running back, Sony Michel. Guards, running backs who are better receivers than runners, and a rookie. That's it. New England's season is going to end with a loss. And we think, and I know what I'm going to hear, is it Tom Brady's age? Oh, it's Tom Brady. No, it's not Tom Brady. I said this earlier. Gronk's a shell of himself. Edelman, way past his prime, bad case of the drops. Philip Dorsett's a bust. Josh Gordon's now gone. James White's a catcher, not a running back. Sony Michel, your rookie, is it. And by the way, Edelman's coming off an ACL injury. And do you know New England's like 7th in the league in offense? Who the hell could do that besides Brady? Look at the gifts Mahomes has, that Goff has. Look at the guys around the league, what they have to work with. Good Lord, when's the last time Pittsburgh drafted a receiver and he wasn't dynamic? I mean, Baltimore went out and drafted 2 tight ends. They can both play and got 3 new receivers. They're all solid. People say Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers doesn't have nothing. They didn't have anything to work with. Randall Cobb can still play. Jordy Nelson was amazing. Devontae Adams is a beast. They went and got Jimmy Graham. Their left tackle is one of the best in football. I mean, I don't want to hear about Aaron Rodgers doesn't have gifts. Are you kidding me? Go look at Pittsburgh's wide receivers and the Chargers tight ends and receivers and the Chiefs, Colts, Texans. They all have deep threats, intermediate threats, slot guys, running backs. Listen, remember, Joy, I was in the L.A. Chargers draft room this year. They invited me into the draft room. So I was sitting there, and they drafted like 17th. And I was in that draft room when they drafted Derwin James. But since I was in the draft room, I get credit for it too. Okay, so New England has not drafted a Pro Bowler since 2013. Not an offensive Pro Bowler, since 2013. I essentially have drafted more Pro Bowlers than the Patriots in 2013. I'm taking credit, half credit for Derwin James. Folks, you're going to blame Brady's age. Belichick is doing him no favors offensively. They've taken advantage of him. Why are we always blaming Brady's age? They're top 7 in the league. If you look at like points and yards, they're not giving Brady enough to work with. And this season's going to end here in about 3 weeks. They may be able to get past the Bills and the Jets. I don't doubt it. But they can't. This is not a team capable of beating the Chargers, the Chiefs. I don't think they can beat the Colts, the Texans now. It's going to get really predictable really fast. It's all going to be Brady's fault because he's old. It's not. It is remarkable what he's doing when you consider the lack of gifts they've given him. Coming up, Lamar Jackson.